this week's parsha, we learn about the very sad story about Joseph being sold as a slave by his brothers. His brothers and him have a great tension in their home, and they finally have Yosef in a place where he can't escape from. They take him, they throw him into a pit, and there's this whole debate amongst the brothers what to do with little Yosef. Actually, he wasn't so little, he was 17 years old. And Yehuda, the leader of the brothers, Judah, advocates they should not kill him, but rather they should sell him as a slave. And they meet this caravan of Ishmaelites who are heading towards Egypt. And it says in the Torah that they took Joseph out of the pit and they sell him as a slave to the Ishmaelites as they were heading towards Egypt, and for a few silver coins. And what's very striking is that the Torah articulates what the Ishmaelites were carrying in their caravan. They were carrying these spices that were very pleasant to smell, the balsam and lotus, and it was just wonderful to smell. And Rashi actually speaks to this, why the Torah feels it necessary to go ahead and identify what they were carrying in their caravan. And Rashi says it's because this was a message to Joseph that a miracle is being done for him. Because normally they would carry in their caravan things which had a foul smell, like tar or some things like of that nature. But because Yosef was righteous, God made it that what accompanied him to Egypt was something which was pleasant to smell. And it seems to be a very bizarre statement, because let's put ourselves in Yosef's shoes for a moment. I mean, here's this 17-year-old kid. He's being sold as a slave to Egypt. You know, he's most likely never going to see his dad again, most likely never going to see his family again. He's going to be sold as a slave. Who knows what's going to happen to him? Why in the world do we care what exactly the Ishmaelites were carrying in the caravan? Was it sweet-smelling spices or something to the opposite effect? Who really cares at that moment? You know, throughout our lives, many times we seek to see a strong message of God's hand, but that's not the way the world works. You know, we will not see the rivers in our town splitting as the Amsuf split after the Jews left Egypt. You know, the miracles that took place during the exodus of Egypt, or when the Jews traveled through the desert with the manna coming down from heaven, that is not the way the world works anymore. That's not the way God created this world. However, He did create this world that sometimes we see these small miracles on a daily basis, and we're able to feel that God is with us, even though we don't see it in a very open way, but we see it in a hidden way. And we can feel reassured and encouraged by that. And that's exactly what Yosef was experiencing at that time. At that time, when he was sold as a slave, he felt that essentially his life was over. I mean, what are the prospects of him having a successful life after all, the 17-year-old being sold as a slave, going down to Egypt, and who knows what would ever happen to him? But God put the spices in that caravan, and Joseph went and he took in the aroma, he inhaled it. And he wasn't just inhaling the spices, what he was doing was he was internalizing the message that God said, I'm still holding your hand even though as you're going through this difficult time. You know, folks, we have challenges in our lives, and many times we wonder, you know, where is God during these moments? It is incumbent upon us to try to see God's hidden hand in our daily lives, and we can be encouraged and enthused from that. Have a wonderful Shabbat.